No comment, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all. It's not on. I can talk a little louder. Come back. All right, Mr. Steinbeck, if you don't join us, please. Right, good evening. Good evening. I'm glad to see that you're all here tonight, and we will start the meeting, and we will follow our agenda. First, please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. Moving right along, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from October 10th?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from October 10th.
Second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval, do so by raising your right hand. Next, approval of the meeting agenda with two additions. Can I get a motion for approval of the meeting agenda?
I make a motion to approve the meeting agenda with the two additions. Second.
Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval, do so by raising your right hand. Okay, next, recognitions and announcements. Dr. Howard.
Thank you, Ms. White. This evening, first of all, good evening to all of you. On behalf of the superintendent, Dr. Cindy Bennett, we welcome you all to this meeting. We do have two recognitions tonight. The first is the Limitless Space Institute, which I believe Mr. Ortega will be presenting on that. And then our veterans, we want to recognize some veterans.
Good evening. It is with my, good evening everyone, board members. It is with extreme excitement and pride that I stand here today to recognize Mr. Milton Lima. Mr. Lima has been an asset to STEM early high school since joining the school in 2018. He's always looking for ways to provide our scholars with authentic experiences and ways to promote STEM pathways. Last year, Mr. Lima sponsored our first NASA Sparks program, where students participated for 6 weeks of experiments and engaging activities related to space exploration. STEM was one of 3 schools nationwide to participate in this prestigious program. As a reward, our students, along with Mr. Lima, will have their names put on a flash drive that will stay on the moon when the Artemis 1 mission launches next year. What an honor for not only the school, but also the Limitless Space Institute, based in Houston, Texas, is excited to announce the inaugural class of the Limitless Educator Program. It is their mission to inspire and educate the next generation to level beyond our solar system and support the research and development of enabling technologies. Mr. Lima will be part of the cohort of 20 educators chosen from around the world who have demonstrated the curiosity, that curiosity, innovation, and excellence are common practices in their classroom. We are excited to have them part of the 2023 Limitless Space Institute Team 1. Mr. Lima will share in February in Houston his experience with the NASA Sparks program that took place at STEM Early High School. Congratulations, Mr. Lee.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Madam Chair, Dr. Powers, and guests. Friday, November 11th, is Veterans Day. Today, we would like to take a moment to recognize our Vance County School staff who are veterans. But before we recognize them, I would like to share a brief history of this holiday. World War I officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919, in the Palace of Versailles outside the town of Versailles, France. However, fighting ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice or temporary cessation of hostilities between the Allied nations and Germany went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11th, 1918 is generally regarded as the end of World War I. In November 1919, President Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day. An act by Congress approved May 13, 1938, made the 11th of November in each year a legal holiday, a day to be dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be therefore celebrated and known as Armistice Day. Armistice Day was primarily a day set aside to honor veterans of World War I. But in 1954, after World War II had required the greatest mobilization of soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen in the nation's history, after American forces had fought aggression in Korea, the 83rd Congress, at the urging of the Veterans Service Organizations, amended the Act of 1938 by striking out the word armistice and inserting in its place the word veterans. With the approval of this legislation on June 1st, 1954, November 11th became a day to honor American veterans of all wars. Veterans Day continues to be observed on November 11th, regardless of what day of the week on which it falls. The observance of Veterans Day on November 11th not only preserves the historical significance of the day, but helps focus attention on the important purpose of Veterans Day, a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Vance County Schools has 15 veterans who are currently working in our district. As I call your name, please come forward and receive our small token of appreciation and line up behind the DCS letters so that we may take a photo. Jesse Pendergrass, Army. Jim McMillan, Air Force. Fred Jones, Army. Christian Salinas, Air Force. George Pettiford, Army. Michael Austin, Army. Gary Lunsford, Air Force. Raphael Holloman, Senior, Army. Reginald Sharon, Marines.
Rob.
Milton Thomas Jr., Marines. Kimberly Cruz, Army. Tracy Fontanet, Air Force. Linda Bristow, Army. Teresa Trimble, Army. Stephanie Askew, Air Force. Thank you for your service to our country and to Vance County School students.
Thank you again for your service. That's a very special honor to me because my husband is a veteran. Before we move on, I want to take this opportunity to share with you some of the good things that our career and technical education program is producing for our community and for our school system. So what you see here, what you see here is a pillow that has our new logo on it that's actually been made by our CTE students. This class, the entrepreneurship class, is actually located at Advanced Academy. So not only do we have this item, but we also have things like a makeup bag or pencil case, gentlemen, a coaster, and they also can do t-shirts. Now, of course, these things are not free, so for a minimal fee, you can certainly order these items, but we are very proud of the work that our CTE program is doing.
Would like to have some items. We do have order forms. Everybody got quiet, okay? Okay, moving right along, comments from the public, we have none. So we'll just move on into the superintendent's report.
Yes, ma'am. So we'll ask Mr. Suther for the fiscal oversight.
Yes, ma'am. The accounts have been reconciled through September. Sales tax refund, check was received by the finance office on October 5th. So the staff is continuing to work on updating budgets and meeting with budget administrators. The principal legislative bonuses were paid to 6 principals who qualified. Local longevity bonus was paid to employees with 1 or more local years of service. And the auditors are wrapping up the fiscal year 22 audit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Suther. The COVID report, as you can see on the slide, the highest day that we had for COVID was October 26th. You can see then after that, it started to decline. We are just asking that people continue to be cautious. Of course, masks are optional. Next is our leadership impact report. And before we get to the leadership impact report, I believe we have a slide that is about Climb. Do we have that slide? Thank you. So Dr. Bennett has been working diligently with Dr. Holloman to create a program that would help to reduce the number of out-of-school suspensions that we have. Climb is that intervention, if you will. So this is going to be for elementary students. Climb is an acronym for Children Learning to Improve and Manage Behaviors. We're very excited about this program and look forward to its inception. And then finally, the key findings from our leadership impact sessions. So Dr. Bennett and I have met with the principals for the first quarter, and some of the things that we found that were actually themes or attendance across the district is increasing. We're very proud to say that this increase is certainly better than what we had last year. So we just continue to encourage our principals, our social workers to support our students and help to make sure that they are in school. We have, like I said, finished up that round of evaluation evaluation cycle. And one of the things that Dr. Bennett would like to do is to ensure that what we learn from the observations that our principals do is that that information will then inform the professional development that we offer to our teachers. We're also learning that we need to provide beginning teachers additional support. Dr. Caraway and her team have created some surveys and sent those out to the beginning teachers. And we found that teachers are asking for more support in various areas such as lesson planning, technology, device use, student engagement, and classroom management. Dr. Bennett has also heard your request and has worked with the principals to make sure that students are using their devices and that they are going home. She's asked principals for a list of the number of students that actually have devices, and she also asked that principals reconcile their list or their numbers with the numbers that Ms. Adam has in FOAT. That is our authoritative source, so that has happened. And finally, we in curriculum and instruction are putting together a list of activities and resources that will be a one-pager that principals can use and have ideas for students to work on things at home with the devices. This is being done in the event that we have to have a remote learning day. We want students to be prepared at home with their devices. This concludes the superintendent's report.
Okay, then we'll move right on into our standing committees, personnel, Ms. Ellis.
Thank you, ma'am. The Personnel Committee met on November 1st, 2022. Committee reviews employment, recommendations, resignations, retirements, leaves, and transfers. We voted to bring all personnel matters to the full board for approval. Personnel addendum is being recommended for approval also.
Okay, that was Mrs. Ellis' motion for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval, do so by raising your right hand. Okay. Finance.
Other items discussed was beginning teacher program and global celebration. Next personnel meeting is December 6th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ellis.
Thank you.
Good evening. Tonight before the board, we are bringing a couple of contracts. The first one is Carolina School Services will be an additional contractor who provides diagnostic services and therapeutic services for our students in the OT program and for students in Head Start, private pre-K, homebound daycares, and other locations specified in the student's IEP. The Carolina Neighbors Home Care business split, thus the need for this contract, and students have and will continue to receive occupational services without interruption. This is from federal funds for a cost not to exceed $90,000, and the administration is requesting the board to approve the contract for Carolina School Services for our OT students.
Did you say this was in addition to one we already have?
This is just another vendor that we'll have as needed. Yes, ma'am.
So I guess what I'm saying, so we went with a different vendor, or we have a second vendor? That was my question.
This is another vendor.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, this is the second vendor.
Okay.
Yes,
very good,
ma'am.
Very good, okay. Okay, can I get a motion that we approve Carolina School Services?
I'll make a motion to approve the contract for Carolina School Services LLC for OT students.
Second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval do so by raising your right hand.
Next, we have the Pathway to Practice and the Praxis Prep. The Pathway to Practice program will help residency teachers obtain their teaching license. Vance County Schools is partnering with NC State University. This is 100% online and self-paced program will allow teachers to obtain their teaching license in the licensure areas offered using the program's learning modules. Licensed candidates will enroll in the program every 3 months until completion of the program occurs. On average, candidates require 4 to 5 subscriptions to complete the program. And then also we have Praxis Prep, which is through the Learning Liaisons, will help teachers who have not passed the Praxis exam and need this additional support and opportunity. Candidates will have 1 year to access the course codes from the test prep platform. Courses are aligned with the skills needed for each exam, and unused codes can roll over to the next year. The test prep includes the main content areas K-12, Praxis Core, and Pearson Reading 190, Special Ed, and ESOL, or English speakers of other languages. Praxis Pathways to Practice will cost $31,250, and this will allow 5 candidates to enroll in cohort 1. Funding will come from federal funds, and Praxis Prep will cost $37,500 for 500 single course codes. And this will come from federal funds as well. And the administration is requesting the board to approve the Pathway to Practice, NC contract, and Praxis Prep quote for our teachers who require this additional support.
Okay, I just think, this is great that we found a way, another pathway, to help, teachers, to get their license. But I'm looking at the price, it's not like it's a huge price, but we are investing in them. So, I would think that we need to have some type of agreement with the people who take part in this. So at least after, we go through this and get them licensed, that they will stay with Vance County instead of getting a license and shoot up the road or down the road somewhere. So we do need to have some type of agreement how long they will stay. Because all of us here, we're happy to be able to help them get the license, but they have to give us something back in return.
Yes, ma'am.
So I hope before we get them, we will have some type of agreement so they know what is expected.
We can recommend 2 or 3 year agreement, whatever the board pleases. We will do as you wish. You would like to do that tonight in your motion.
I know teaching those at 5 years.
I just don't, I think that's unrealistic to me. I would personally say maybe 3 years, because it'll take them a year almost to get through this. So at least a year. So it'll take at least a year for them to finish the program. So that's 1 year right there that they're here. So asking for an additional 2 years, I just don't think that's a lot. So that is my thought. Anybody else?
So you want to add 3 years to the,
No, it'll be 3 years total, because it'll take a year for them if they start with the program. Is that, Brian?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. It would
About-
take up to 3 years to complete this, and we would be happy to proceed with any way the board would like to proceed. Our agreement that we are thinking about would be after the completion of the program, they would have to give us so many years or pay back the amount that the district invested.
Yes.
so that will give a bill about 3 to do with people. How you want to word that?
Somebody will word it for us.
Okay.
Yes,
So we're not.
I think that's being taken care of, I think. Yes. So, say 3 years in addition. Now, you said that this program would take,
It could take up to 3 years, just depending on how quickly a teacher completed the program. It is self-paced, but they would have up to 6 sessions to complete. So it could take several years. Our agreement, what I would like to recommend is after the completion of the program, they give the district 3 more years after they've completed the program.
Let's just say two.
That'll be a total of 5. right?
That'll be a five total, so they added two.
All right.
So this last two,
Two.
but they,
Yes, ma'am.
they could possibly complete it in less than 3 years, correct? I would
Correct,
hope.
yes, ma'am.
I hope that they're diligent enough to do that in less than 3 years, but if it takes 3 years,
Whatever would it takes them 2 more after.
correct.
Well, I can give you 2 just in 1 month, so that would be good.
Thank you.
So, we have a motion that we do that.
I make a motion to approve the pathway to practice North Carolina contract and practice for the post-grad teachers who require additional support with the agreement that after completion, they give the district 2 more years.
Okay, can I get a second? Okay, Ms. Scoop. Any more discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval do so by raising your right hand. All righty, all right, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, Mr. Suka, one more.
One more, we have RTI contract for Vance County Middle School and E.M. Rollins. We have, one contract is like for the middle school is a continuation from last year, and the other is a new contract for E.M. Rollins. RTI, or otherwise known as Research Triangle Institute, will continue their contract with Vance County Middle School through the Innovative Partnership Grant. The goals of this contract are to increase student achievement and support, increase professional capacity, build leadership capacity, and strengthen school culture. RTI's goals for E.M. Rollins will include building professional capacity for the staff and leadership teams to support strong academic instruction and apply leadership skills and tools to advance and sustain school improvement goals. Both contracts are being paid from federal funds, and these are specific federal funds. Vance County Middle School is $85,000 for this fiscal year, and E.M. Rollins is $56,000 for this year. The administration is requesting the board to approve the RTI contracts for Vance County Middle School and for E.M. Rollins Elementary.
I was trying to find it, is it this contract that they helped them learn how to do IEPs? Was it in this contract? I saw it in one of them. Was it this? It was something in one of these contracts, okay, no problem. Alright, can I get a motion for approval, RTI?
I make a motion to approve the RTI contracts for Vance County Middle School and E.M. Rollins.
Second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval do so by raising your right hand. Okay, next, we'll move on to, building and grounds. Partners is not here. So. Good.
What?
Policy is after the building and grounds, so we're in building and grounds now, so. Mr. Purdue back there raising his hand, so I'm gonna let him carry on.
Be happy to cover Buildings and Grounds. The Buildings and Grounds Committee met on Wednesday, October 26th. Highlights of the agenda items discussed, first was Center for Innovation updates. Kevin Purdue informed the committee that the fencing gate materials have arrived and the contractor will be installing in the next 2 days. Secondly, on the agenda was emergency notification systems. Kevin Purdue and Marsha Abbott informed the committee that he and Ms. Abbott are reviewing the panic button systems offered by different vendors and will plan to make a recommendation to the full board at the January meeting. COVID cleaning and ESSERS updates. The Committee was informed that E.O. Young HVAC system installation is completed and operating, and the contractor is completing a punch list at this time. Advanced Academy HVAC replacement is currently at about 50%. And Center for Innovation replacement is about to begin. Advertising is currently taking place for Carver, LP Yancey, and Kingston Elementary HVAC upgrades, with the hopes of bringing a recommendation to the December board meeting. Outdoor learning environments updates, the committee was informed that the shelters are in production or expected to start arriving in the next 12 weeks. Transportation updates, the committee was informed that Vance County Schools was awarded 2 early yellow bus replacements through a grant funded by the VW settlement. These buses will be equipped with wheelchair equipment to add to the EC fleet to reduce the times of travel in the district with our EC children. Also presented at the committee meeting was the work order and custodial report, monthly updates. Afterwards, a motion was made and the committee adjourned the meeting.
About the middle school, I think we brought some things to your attention about the middle school, 6th grade, like going down the stairwell.
Yes, there's
How is that going along?
some repairs are currently being taking place that was identified by to the committee, yes. Ma'am.
And some, how about painting?
Yeah, painting, once we have some times when the kids and staff are out in the building, for period of time such as the holiday breaks, will be taken for as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we move on to, policy.
Okay, on October 26th, the policy committee reviewed the 6,000 series, which was support services. There were no recommended changes for the board to consider in the policies. And so the meeting was adjourned, and our next meeting is the 28th of November at 12:30.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Wilson.
The Curriculum Committee met on October 26, 1922. Board members present were Gloria White, Dorothy Gucci, Nita Wilson. Staff members present were Dr. Bennett, Dr. Powers, John Suter, Marcia Abbott, Dr. Gassini Ross Putney, Jennifer Caraway, Erica Wright, Natalia Snipes, and Cassandra Coleman. I call the meeting to order at 1 p.m. Dr. Powers, welcome everyone that shared on the committee. The first item discussed was RoboVance Robotics Team Watch. Dr. Ross Putney provided an update about the robotics launch. She stated 256 applicants from students in grades K through 8 were submitted. The program has 3 divisions, K through 2, 3 through 5, and 6 through 8. K through 2 includes 10 elementary teams with 34 students. 3 through 5 includes 136 students from 17 teams. 6 through 8 include 11 middle school teams with 79 students. She added that schools coaches received training from the vendor Brigham on October 12, 1922. Mr. Wilson asked if student reference schools participated. Dr. Ross Putney said yes. Mr. Wilson and then asked, what time does it start? Dr. Ross Putney replied, it would be 1 day per week from school dismissal at 5 p.m. Mr. Wilson stated then they had to travel. Dr. Ross Putney stated that they will be on that school campus. Ms. White asked about snacks. Dr. Ross Putney said we will talk to child nutrition about snacks. Then Ms. White asked the question, so when they win the competition, what do they get? Dr. Ross Putney said outside of winning a trophy, they are working to determine potential prizes. Ms. White asked, we had class dojo at Green Box. Dr. Ross Putney said not at this time. Ms. White said it would be a great addition to that discussion. Professional development updates, Dr. Ross Putney shared with me that September 22nd. Session off at 30.5 hours, total contact hours, staff for the staff, and there were 157 attendees. Technology updates. Marcia Abbott shared that 3,120 work orders were submitted, and the largest number of work orders was for a Chromebook Braille. Team completed 2,861 work orders. We also had 859 work orders that were submitted without accounts and have completed 601. She also shared infrastructure updates of the district network and the video of emergency notification options. Student services and school counseling updates. Ms. Erica Wright shared council initiatives with the committee. She stated that the focus is on medical consultations, college week, and Optum Plus. We are encouraging all of our seniors to apply for scholarships for FAFSA. Ms. Wright stated that she and Dr. Bennett have been looking at a space to allow a certified counselor to come in and be able to service students on site. These mental health services would be scheduled around student lunches and on elective classes, thus reducing the amount of instruction time lost. Ms. White asked how many students participated in college week. Ms. Wright said at least 70% have applied or in the process of applying. Ms. White stated that we have to stay on this with parents so that students can complete the FAFSA. Dr. Bennett stated we will commit 4 FAFSA nights, FAFSA nights. AIG updates. Dr. Powers introduced a new AIG commander to the committee. Mrs. Sandra Colvin. Ms. Colvin shared a little about herself to the committee and then shared the Colvin plans and actions, steps of the AIG department. She will also the goal of testing AIG academic and extracurricular experiences and improvement of curriculum and staff improvement, collaboration, and partnership. And then on the instruction, Dr. Powell shared that items from the VCS entrepreneurship and CTE class. She said they're doing a wonderful job. Through the entrepreneurship class, students use the screen printing equipment to create such items as t-shirts, mugs, covers, makeup, bags, and pillows. And these items stay on there. Some of those I showed tonight. The program is located in a classroom and lab based at Advanced Academy. She also shared the tiny house project. She said CT and CS staff had partnered and are working with Killen Engineering Construction Company to support the class, to support our carpentry class and building the house. She also provided information that the class project made on district approved plan through InstaStar and support provided to principals. Final comments. There was no other business. The meeting was adjourned at 2:10. The next CTI meeting is scheduled for November the 29th.
Right, thank you, Mr. Wilson. Next, we'll move on to, community and business relations.
The Community Business Relations Committee did not meet. We will get, let you know when the next meeting will be.
Right, new business, okay. Then we'll move on to the, overnight, field trips. They out of, county transfers and releases.
We have 14 transfers in county and 4 transfers out of county for a total of 18 transfers.
I get a motion that we approve the student transfers and releases.
I make a motion that we approve the student transfers and releases.
Get a second?
I second.
All right, thank you. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor for approval, do so by raising your right hand. Thank you all for coming. We've come to the end of the road. So again, we'd like to thank you for coming. And I move that we go into closed session pursuant to the provisions of NCGS 143-318.11 for purposes of discussing legal, personnel, and property issues pursuant to that section. That is my motion. All those in favor for approval, right hand? Thank you. And thank you again for coming. Hope to see you again.